Hello. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create an original cataloging record in Follett Destiny. I'd like to thank Peggy Bryant of Townsend Elementary School and Middale Schools for allowing me to use her Destiny account to create this tutorial. Before we begin, go ahead and have handy your textbook for this class, the 6th edition of the Collection Program in Schools by Marcia Martis. We're going to create an original cataloging record for this title. So right now I am logged in to Peggy Bryant's account and I'm at the home page. To add an original cataloging record, we need to go to the Catalog tab. And then our next step is to go along the left-hand side and select Add Title. Typically, when you are adding books to your catalog, many times there's a record already available that you can use. And then you would search for available records by making sure that Books is selected. And then you can search by title, author, or ISBN. ISBN can get you a more exact match for a book record. For the sake of our cataloging workshop, though, you're going to be creating original records to be able to get that experience and practice. I'm going to go ahead and do a search for Marcia Martis. Typing last name first. First name and middle initial. And the book has come up. There are records available, but for the sake of this workshop, even though we would normally use a record that's already available, I want to show you how to create an original record. So let's pretend that this title did not come up in our search results and that we're looking and that we need to add an original record. So I'm going to click Add the Title. In Destiny, if your title begins with an article, the, an, or a, that word goes here. So our title begins with the. And if you remember from our discussion of the title statement, when entering a title statement, only the first word is capitalized. The only other words that are capitalized in a title statement are proper nouns. So Collection Program in Schools is not capitalized. I'm going to insert a space and a forward, and then a colon, because we have a subtitle. And our subtitle will be all lowercase. Concepts and Practices is our subtitle. Now I've included all of the information about the title. So I need to end with a space and a forward slash. If I did not have a subtitle, my forward slash would actually be on this line. And now I need to get my author statement from the primary source, the chief source of information, which in this case is going to be the title page. So looking at the title page, the author's name is presented as Marcia A. Martis. If the words written by or by preceded the author's name, I would have included those words as well. But in this case, that was not available. So I'm going to end with a period. And then we need our edition statement. This is a 6th edition. And if you remember, even though the chief source of information spells out the word 6th, according to AACR2 rules, we use the numeral and abbreviate edition. I'm going to add the ISBN number here, which I'm retrieving from the back cover of the book. If by chance you put an incorrect ISBN number in one of these in this field, it will flag you down. It'll let you know if it's an incorrect number. You don't necessarily need to add either of these numerals. The ISBN number alone is fine. All right, this is where you can tell you can indicate on the record what type of material you have. I'm going to leave it as book, and you can have subtypes as well. So if you are cataloging a book that's reference, that would be important to indicate here. You can see the different subtypes that Peggy has set up for her library. The author's information is already here because this is how we searched for our title record in the beginning, by author. And in the author information, you do want to list it as you see here, with last name first, followed by first name, middle initial. And now our place of publishing. Again, I'm going to refer to the chief source of information. And we have Santa Barbara, California. Since Santa Barbara may not be widely known internationally as a city in California, I went ahead and included California. And then I'm going to follow the place with a space and a colon. The publisher, libraries, unlimited, comma, the date 2016, and follow the date by a period. For the physical description, this is where you indicate page numbers. Now, rule of thumb with AACR2 is just to report your major numbered page range. So and to omit minor sections of the book that might not have page numbers. So in the case of our book, most of the pages are numbered, and the numbers end at 330. And our book is not illustrated, but if it was, I would include that information here on the second field. Now I'm going to go to the next tab over where we have we can indicate our series statement and then add notes. This is a part of a series. It's the library and information science text series. I'm going to end with a period. In Follett Destiny, you can indicate interest level. This would be I would call this a professional book. Since this is an elementary school, I think that it's important to include information on the interest level. Now for notes, this is where you can add a summary. So I can type the summary of the book. I'm just going to type a brief summary. And then click update, and then it'll add a note, summary, and then the actual summary. You can also add general or content notes. I think for this, it would be important to add includes. Notes are at the discretion of the cataloger. This is also a good place to put notes if there are supplementary media that go along with a book, such as books that you catalog for your students that come with CDs or DVDs, or have an online component that accompanies the book. It would be good to note that here. So I'm going to go on to subjects. And this is where we refer to Sears subject headings to find the standard information needed. Now, in the case of our textbook, there is catalog and publishing. If you look at the back side of the title page, you'll see some catalog and publishing information that includes some subject headings. So we'll just pull subject headings from the catalog and publishing. So the first one is school libraries hyphen, and it falls under the general heading of collection development. And I'm going to click update to add that heading. And then it has another heading, Instructional Materials Centers. It looks like I probably shouldn't have put that hyphen there. It looks like Destiny added hyphens for us, so I bet it'll flag that as a correction here later. We'll see. So our general heading under Instructional Material Centers is, again, collection development. Go ahead and select that and click update. So we have our headings. I'm going to go to the next tab, which has resources. If there was an online component or tool or resource that accompanies this book, you could put that URL address here with a description. And then the final tab is for added entries. Uniform title is for a generic title that a book might be commonly known for. An example is the Harry Potter books. Just listing Harry Potter here would be appropriate. And the same goes for the series uniform title. All right, first, we have already added the main entry for this record back when we added the author under the brief title record. Right here, this is the main entry. So the added entries are all separate under this tab. So this is where we want to give credit to illustrators, editors. In the case of this book, the most important added entry to add is the author of the previous edition of this book, which is included in the cataloging and publication, Kay Bishop. And her role was the 5th edition author. And when describing the role, you want to abbreviate as much as you can. Click update, and it may correct us on our punctuation here. We'll see. All right, so that is those are the different areas of the cataloging record when you create an original record in Destiny. So let's see what happens when we save the title. It lets us know that there's some punctuation that was incorrect. So it looks like it didn't need an add a period here. And my target audience did need a period. And it corrected my punctuation on my added entry. Yay for Follett Destiny. So I selected those accepted suggestions. And I'm going to click Save Title. And now this title is ready for us to add copies.